So let's talk about the June meeting of the Guilford County Republican Party. I just have to say, first of all, there's a lot of things going on this Monday evening. You had a forum just 30 minutes west in Winston-Salem for the candidates running for the NC GOP chairman slot, and that election will be held just like Saturday, right? Yeah, 4 or 5 days from now. And then in the east part of the state, in Greenville, you had a forum against the two Republicans who are going to be in a July 10th runoff election. And by the way, I endorse Greg Murphy. The opponent is Joan. I don't know her last name. Joan. Let's just call her that. In that District 3 congressional runoff. And then the winner of the Republican runoff is going to face Alan. I don't know how to run the Global Trans Park Thomas in the general election coming up in September. Okay. So, because I am a key member of the Guilford County Republican Party Executive Committee and a precinct chair, it is my duty to attend this meeting. Even though, another thing too was my favorite baseball team since I was 5 years old, the Baltimore Orioles, had the first pick in the Major League Baseball draft tonight. So yeah, there was a lot of other places that I would have rather be than a county GOP meeting tonight. But all in all, the meeting was okay. I mean, I've been to better meetings, but it was okay. The very first thing we did tonight, and I was very pleased with this from Chairman David Gleason, he decided to have all the military people that have ever served in the military, okay, anybody's ever served, to stand up. And the whole room, we, gave him an applause and everything, because on Thursday, June 6th, this upcoming Thursday, it'll be the 75th anniversary of D-Day, okay? And this particular event really hits home because my grandfather, Bud Irving Crawford, was in World War II, okay? He survived. He lived a very productive life. He passed away now 4 years ago. As a matter of fact, 4 years ago this weekend, I would have been up in Baltimore at his funeral, okay? And he lived to be 90 years old. Didn't quite make it to 91 years old. Okay. So, our after we did the D-Day tribute, we had our guest speaker of the evening, who was Jeff Phillips. He is a county commissioner in Guilford County, and his district is really mostly the north central part of the county. He was first elected in 2012, got reelected in 2016, okay, and it's interesting to note that he defeated a 3-term Democratic incumbent in 2012. And the incumbent was actually the son of a former Democratic Democratic sheriff of Guilford County. And back in 2012, this was a huge upset in local politics in Guilford County. It should also be noted that the Democrats had control of the county commission from 1998 to 2012, and now the Republicans have had it since. Hopefully we can hold it in 2020. We have a 5-4 majority Republican right now, and we are the largest county in North Carolina that has a Republican majority on their county commission. So hopefully we can keep that title. Hopefully we do not become Wake or Mecklenburg County anytime soon, because Wake and Mecklenburg County have 0 Republicans on their board of commissioners. What else was I going to say? Okay, so, and by the way, Jeff Phillips, he started his presentation with a really good quote. This is one of my favorite quotes. I heard it for the first time tonight. It's from Nick Saban, who's a, if you don't know who Nick Saban is, then you really need to get out more. But he is the college football coach at Alabama, which Alabama is one of the most successful college football programs there ever has been. And Nick Saban said, if you want to make everybody happy, don't be a leader. Sell ice cream instead. Right? So Jeff Phillips, he went on to say that when he got elected, when before the Republicans took over the current control of the board in 2012, there was a debt of $1 billion. Yikes. There was also property tax increases 6 out of the last 8 years from 2012 on back. Okay. Plus, spending for the public school system had flatlined, had stayed exactly the same for 5 straight years prior to 2012. Okay. But since the GOP has taken the majority, 4 out of the last 6 years, they have cut the property tax rate. Every single year since 2012, spending for the public schools as well as capital improvement projects, infrastructure projects, so forth, your roads, your sewer, so forth, have gone up every single year. And it should be known that Guilford County has adopted more kids. More kids have been adopted by parents. In other words, more kids have gone from foster homes / social services into real loving parents' homes. More kids have achieved that in Guilford County over the last 2 years than any other county in North Carolina. That goes to our strong, very strong social services system in this county. But we have some work to do here in Guilford County. As Mr. Phillips said, we have the highest combined tax rate. When you take your Greensboro city taxes and your Guilford County taxes and you add them together, and you get your property tax rate, it's the highest in the state of North Carolina. So, guess what happens a lot of times, although it's getting a little bit better, but still, most of the time, when a company is looking to come to North Carolina and bring their jobs and business with them, they're going to pick Raleigh or Charlotte over Greensboro. Even though, guess what city has a much better, much more efficient highway system? And Greensboro, exactly. Which place you don't have to worry about traffic? Greensboro, okay? Now it's getting a little bit better, obviously. Centric Systems, and Publix, and Honda Motor, a couple other companies have announced jobs. I think over the last month I've heard announcements of like Amazon, about, this is a ballpark figure, okay? Don't say, Bobby says 5,000 jobs are coming to Guilford County. I would say total, couple 3,000 jobs are going to be coming to Guilford County, at least over what I've heard over the last month to 6 week period or so. But there was a report done by the local newspaper here, the Greensboro News and Record, as well as an independent agency, that said the local school system here in Guilford County has $1.5 billion in school needs. So there's a couple of trains of thought that the Board of Commissioners is looking at. One would be a bond referendum, okay? The other one would be a sales tax increase. Now, right now, the current sales tax rate is 6.75% in Guilford County. Most of your large urban counties have it a lot higher than Guilford County. I mean, if you go to the next county over, even Alamance, which is a lot more rural than Guilford County, you're going to pay 7%. Wake County, I believe, is close to 8%, as well as Mecklenburg County, too, is 8%. The bond referendum if I had to pick, if somebody said, Bobby, you have to pick a method, you have to make a decision between sales tax increase and bond referendum, I'd probably go bond referendum. The sales tax thing, sales tax for education, I don't have kids. Maybe someday I will, but right now I don't have kids, and not gonna have kids anytime soon either. I don't have a particular interest in the public school system. Okay. Now, sales tax for improving roads or parks, yeah, I could probably vote for that. But a sales tax for educational buildings, no. Take the bond referendum every day, plus twice on Sunday if I could. Now we go into our executive reports. Chris Meadows, first vice chair, said that the executive board of the party has a goal of moving the party into headquarters in time for the September meeting, which is going to be the first or second Monday in September. And then we had Alyssa Batts talk about Twitter. Then we had Paul Daniels, third vice chair, talk about precincts. And there's some good news to share with you. At the last meeting, just a month ago, there were 25 precinct chairs. Now we're up to 41 precinct chairs. Now that's good, but in Guilford County, there are 170 precinct chairs. So we're not even halfway. We don't even have a quarter of the precincts filled with precinct chairs yet. But we're still over a year away from the election. Okay, now we're going to go into budget talk. I'm not going to share with you the specific numbers because that would violate a confidentiality agreement between myself and the party. But I can tell you about some of the revenue sources that the party is looking at for raising money. The first one would be holding a gun raffle, similar to the successful one that was held in Cabarrus County and then Lee County. Also selling Trump t-shirts and hats, and also the budget. It's a good budget. I will say that it is a very, as David Gleason would say, a conservative budget. It is based on historical averages, and it also assumes that the party is going to have a headquarters by September. Okay. And somebody else asked a question about headquarters. Basically, there were two locations that they're looking at kind of right now. One is near Hunt Village, which is near where the previous headquarters was, which is on Gate City Boulevard and I-73. And another one is down closer to High Point in this place called Wendover Business Park. But one of the difficult things that Chairman Gleason is finding is that these commercial real estate agents, you call them and they never call you back. And you call them again, you call them 5-6 times, still, and one of them, the person is out in California and doesn't know when they'll be back to North Carolina, right? Okay, so then we looked at a strategic plan. There's a lot of components to this, and I'm not going to read you the whole plan, okay, because that would be very boring and dry. But I am going to share with you the headings, so to speak. So first thing we have is the chairman. That's David Gleason. His job is to organize the county party. Fundraising is the job of first vice chair Chris Meadows. The second vice chair's role is technology. That's Alyssa Batts. Third vice chair of voter outreach, as well as making sure the plan of organization is kept neat and tidy and useful. And that would be Paul Daniels' job. And then we have committee chairmanships in marketing and messaging. And then we have groups coordination. This is based on all your auxiliary groups. Okay, these are groups that are part of the Republican Party. They feed into the Republican Party, but they are a lot smaller, a lot less formal in their tone. Of course, we're talking about the women's clubs, the men's club, the Frederick Douglass Foundation, teenage Republicans, college Republicans, YRs. If I left anybody out, I'm sorry, okay? Okay. The highlight of tonight's meeting. Okay, let me get to that part. Another thing that was announced was a meeting schedule for the rest of this year. As far as I know, this was not mentioned tonight, but it should have been mentioned. They're going to continue to meet on the first Monday of the month. Now, July, there will not be a meeting, but the next meeting should be, I'm not 100% sure, but it should be on Monday, August the 5th. Okay? And then we're going to have meetings every month the rest of the year, even into November and December. However, with these meetings, there were some discussions between the members of the executive board, which is your chairman, vice chair, first vice chair, second vice chair, third vice chair, treasurer, secretary. So about 6 or 7 people. They have their meeting about a week before the official executive committee meeting. And the one thing that they discussed among themselves, they noticed that the meetings are, there's meeting once a month, believe it or not, is, they say that the agenda is too full for these meetings. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? How can that be? You know? And so what the executive board told we little peasants on the executive committee is they said we're going to mix things up. And the thing that I was pretty unhappy about this, pretty pissed, I'd say. They did this without putting this idea to the executive committee. They did not take a vote on this. They said that we're going to meet in December and take a vote on whether or not I want to continue this new format. And when I'm talking about this new format is that in August they're going to have a business meeting. That means they're just going to do party business, no guest speakers, okay? That's okay with me. However, in September, they're going to have a social event. So they're not going to have a business meeting, they're just going to have a social event. Oh, but they might have a speaker too. But still, you know, I've been to some of these social events and they are such a waste of time. You go and you dine on overpriced food and you listen to somebody speak for 5 minutes, and then because I'm an introvert, you spend the next hour like looking around the room being like, why am I here, you know? Okay, then in October we're having another business meeting without a speaker. In November we're going to have a social event, and then in December we're going to have a social event, but an important vote is going to be taken, and I say vote absolutely no, hell no on this new format. Keep these meeting formats the way they are. Keep them nice and full, because guess what? We only meet once a month. It's not like the party is meeting, you know, twice a month or every week or every day. We're meeting once a month, and when you take, you know, the month of July off, and in some years you take November, December off, you have what? You have only 9 times a year where you could have an official meeting, okay, get as many people, as many Republicans to these meetings as you can, gather around, pump up the base, you know, and you know, get people motivated, and 9 opportunities, that's it. And now you're changing half the meetings the rest of the year to a social event. So that means instead of 9 meetings a year, we're going to have like 3 or 4 meetings a year where we actually can get crap done and motivate people. You know? This is a bunch of bull, okay, is what it is. I hate it, okay? Keep the meeting format the same. What on earth are you thinking, executive board, okay? Really? I mean, I have a lot of respect for David Gleason, but this new meeting schedule is rubbish. It's terrible. Anyway, then we finish the meeting out with announcements. Teenage Republicans. Mark your calendar. The Teenage Republicans need our support, y'all. June 28th, they're going to have a convention in Raleigh. June the 11th, and I wish I could make this event on June 11th, but I have to work. It figures. The League of Women Voters, aka the Liberal League of Women Voters, we say we're nonpartisan, yeah right, League of Women Voters. They're gonna have a town hall meeting. I believe it starts at 6 p.m. at the Madison Mayodan Courthouse. They're gonna have a forum on redistricting, and redistricting is a one of my favorite topics in politics because it combines two subjects that I'm very passionate about. One is politics, the other is about geography. Put them together, you get political geography stew, right? It's awesome stuff. But anyway, also I should mention that our buddy Lee Haywood was there tonight. District 6 chairman, doing awesome things in District 6. He's definitely a person that I've gotten to know a little bit. He's going to vote for Jim Womack at the convention, which is great. I am too. And he really had a great moment tonight where you could see why he's a chairman and why he's a good, effective chairman too. But he asked the room how many people are going to the convention, the state convention this weekend. And almost everybody there was at least 50, 60 people in that room was going to go. And I was like, wow, a lot of years. I know last year Guilford County only had like 25, 30 delegates at the convention. This year I think we're going to have double. Yeah, it's going to be huge. Or as Donald Trump would say, it's going to be huge, Joe. But Lee Haywood basically said, look, we're in the week right before the convention. And because it's an officer election year in these odd number years, the week before the convention, things always get very, I forget the term he used, but they get very chippy. And he said, look, when the convention is over on Monday morning, June the 10th, we all need to put our feelings aside, because some of our feelings are going to get hurt this weekend because some of us are not getting our way on who our candidate might not win. We need to put that behind us and say, look, let's focus on getting Republicans to victory in 2020. So that I want to make sure I share with you, okay? Anyway, my next video on this channel will be from Charlotte at the convention. Yes. And that next video will take place on Thursday, probably early evening, because on Thursday, registration begins at, registration begins at 3, okay? I pick up my goodie bag there, and then I say a prayer, and I ask God to please not let me get stuck in that ferocious rush hour traffic. And I drive about 10 miles to my hotel room down in the university area, UNC Charlotte area. From there, I eat dinner, and then I will go on the air and do my convention pregame show. Woot woot. Okay, but for now, this is the Conservative Pelican, okay, aka Bobby Crawford. Have a great night. See you Thursday.